Hey guys, Kenny Muckip here, and I'm back with another one of my custom Bionicle mocks slash CCBX mocks. Um, so yeah, today I'm gonna be showing you guys my Lego, or I guess Bionicle technically, uh, Link, more specifically Child Link from The Legend of Zelda. There's my lamp. That's pretty, isn't it? Um, but let me move this back just a tad bit. There we go. But here he is, looking pretty swag, as Link does. You can see he has his shield, and he also is brandishing the Master Sword. Woo! Now, as you could probably see here, I came across a bit of a problem while building the Master Sword. That problem being, I don't have this piece, or this piece in this blue color. In the game, it's supposed to be, the hilt is supposed to be completely blue, other than some yellow bits right here, which I also couldn't really get in there. But due to not having those colors in those parts, I couldn't really do that. So, this is what I got for now. Adjust the lighting real quick. There we go, that's much better. So here he is, now you can see him in better lighting. He's got a shield and a Master Sword. Let's take those out of his hands for now. And of course, this has to be built in two different sections in order to go on like that. But when it's not like that, you just take the red pin out and plug it together, and it's still a whole sword. Here's how the shield goes on. It's extremely simple. It just plugs in his hand. But here is Link himself, Kid Link, Child Link, whatever you want to call him. So as you can see, I've done something that I don't do too often when I do these Bionicle mocks, which is using actual Lego bricks on them. I tend to not really do that, but this time it was kind of the only way that I could, and I think it turned out okay. The hardest part was figuring out how to do the hat and hair portion. Let me just pop his head off and hope none of this collapses, which the back did. It's very fragile, being it is just regular Lego bricks for the torso. This is gonna hurt. Okay. Never do that, guys. That puts a lot of stress on the socket joint for the head. Luckily, I have a crap ton of these, so it doesn't really matter, but still don't want it to break. But here's a closer look at how the head is. You can pretty much see how it's built just by looking at it. We got a foot here, hand piece, this piece here, which has pinholes, and a, I guess that would be called a beam hole. I'm not really sure what it's called. It's cross beam thing. The front hair sort of poof is a keyed orange fist. The sides of the hair are keyed orange feet from a different time. I don't really know what these exact pieces are referred to as. I don't know, but here's a yellow hand piece or connector piece. I like calling them hand pieces because that's what they were pretty much. But in there is one of my custom pieces. From time to time, I will build custom, well, not really build, but modify pieces. This is one of those. I didn't modify it specifically for this. I already had this piece. But that is basically just two ball joints connected with a beam. And I also had to use multiple elastic bands throughout this thing to keep it basically locked in place. And it's not heavily reliant on that, to be honest. It won't just completely fall apart without that, but that just helps it stay there and not sort of wobble around. Yeah, there's that. Limbs are extremely simple. They only have 2 points of articulation in each, being the shoulder and the hand and foot. Well, wrist and ankle, I guess. And the hips. So you got a bit of minimal movement there when it comes to that. The torso, I didn't mean to rip his arm off. The torso wasn't really that difficult. The thing that was hard about the torso was just basically trying to figure out how to do his little tunic skirt piece here. And eventually I ended up deciding that I was just going to make it peg in through holes on the torso using these jumper plates. So they just plug onto there with a stud. This is supposed to be the belt. This is the undershirt of the green tunic. And as you can see here, I have 2 more green hands here that act as the torso, because it was way too thin. I wanted to thicken it up a little bit, and I think that worked. So I like how that is. I know he's supposed to have a brown strap going across his shoulder, but I had no idea how to go about doing that, and I didn't think it was really necessary for what I wanted to do. I will probably go back to it at some point, but as of right now, I don't really want to. I think it's fine how it is. So yeah, there's that. But there's another thing that you can do with him, which is store his sword on his back. And how you do that is, if you take the crossguard off and you take this black pin out here, you can take that where that pin was and replace it with one of these. And when you do that, you just plug it in, plug this on, and then there will be this sticking out, and this just goes on here to this brick and sits really comfortably right there. It's not going to wiggle itself out unless you like pull on it, and even then the hat kind of stops it from doing that, so you don't really have to worry about that part. But the skirt is a little bit fiddly sometimes. If you put too much pressure on it, it'll move, and that'll be a bit of a pain. But yeah, you could also get this at a bit of an angle. The crossguard moved. That's not good. Let's fix that. You could put this at whatever angle you want, really, but I prefer to have it kind of like this. The shield, unfortunately, can't really go on after that goes on, but if you weren't going to have... Crap, hold on, let me get this back on. That's annoying me. But if you wanted the shield to go on, you could just take this piece, pop that out, and replace it with one of the black pins and pop it onto his back. Sure, that kind of leaves a bit of a problem if it's on the top hole, because then the head has to look down. I'm just going to leave that off. I'm going to leave that off for now. But if you put it down here, it looks just fine. The head still has a decent range of movement, and he looks alright. There was another thing that I had for this, which is just a few extra bricks. But here they are. They ended up coming off, but basically these slid right up into this groove here and made the hat just a little bit longer, and that's how that worked. I had another elastic band around here, but that one broke, so it just sort of falls. You could just get another elastic band. I didn't really have any clear ones. These are all the clear ones that I had. I have this one yellow one, which can go on there in the same way and sort of lock that in place. But yeah, I didn't really want to use it because it sticks out against the green. It just doesn't look right. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below to show me that you did. And as always, if you haven't already, make sure to also hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on any new content from the channel. And I'll see you guys later.